What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We have a new update today for the Chimera electric BMX. A lot has happened in the past few months. Well, first off, let's talk about their viral video. One of these videos that Mike Feedy took of the bike zooming in, you've seen it before if you've watched my channel. This bike got millions of views and it skyrocketed Chimera's viewership and following count on Instagram to something like 32,000 now. I remember when they were climbing, it was like 10,000. That maybe like only a month ago, or maybe a month and a half ago, or 2 months. I don't know, something like that. But then now suddenly they're like over 30,000. So that's pretty impressive. Let's take a look at that video if you haven't seen it. Here it is. Short little 8-second clip, but man, that got the job done. Next, we have a new video that Austin put out where he shows how the torque of his bike can easily handle an insane hill. 32% grade, I think it was. And it's cool how he shows you why it's possible and how easy it is to change out some of the parts. So let me show you that right now. I'll play that.
This is the 5th steepest incline in the United States, Baxter Street here in Los Angeles, California. It's a 32% incline. I'm going to attempt to climb it with the Chimera electric BMX. All right, to try to give you guys a basis of comparison for just how steep Baxter Street is, I'm first going to tackle a less aggressive but still pretty steep hill. Right now, I am on a 15% incline that extends for about 1,000 feet. And then we reach a lookout point where you can see over Baxter Street. Now that kind of hill isn't exactly easy for a lot of e-bikes, but the Chimera should be able to handle it no problem, and it should give you some idea of the difference between, a more normal hill like this and the e-bike killer that Baxter Street is.
Man, that's fucking steep. That would be tough to even run up or walk up.
One more thing, I'm gonna be zip tying this draggy device to the Chimera. What that does is it gives a much more accurate GPS feed and sends it to an app on my phone that I can screen record and then put in the corner of your screen so that you can see my speed and distance as I ride. Oh man, when I try to start out with BMX gearing, it's pretty hard to get up a hill like this. All right, let me hit the throttle. Oh, there we go.
All right, so let me pause it here. That first hill at 15%, that would destroy most e-bikes. Most e-bikes would have a hard time climbing that. And this is before he changes out the sprocket. So let's continue on. Let's see what happens when he gets to the big hill.
There it is. That's the e-bike killer right there. Huh. Well, that was surprisingly easy.
Let me pause it again. Okay, so with pedaling prior to the sprocket change, he got up the hill. It took some effort. But now let's see what happens when he changes that sprocket out.
All right, I think that went pretty well. The bike didn't really struggle too much climbing that really steep hill. I did have to help it by pedaling some, but that's no surprise. It's geared for a 35-mile-per-hour top speed. What I want to do now is I want to do a little operation. So I want to switch the 16-tooth cog that I've got in the rear and switch it out for a 17-tooth cog. Now that will decrease the overall top speed a little bit. It'll have like a 32 mile per hour top speed, but it will increase the torque. And then I'm gonna try to climb that hill throttle only. I think the bike can do it. We'll see.
Oh, let me pause it here for a second. It's pretty funny. I like how he's just on the side of the street with his tools and the bike flipped over, and he's just changing the torque. So cool. Well, let's watch it.
This is one of the things I love about a BMX. Pretty easy to fix. Just flip it upside down and start working on it. All right, let's see what this thing's got the extra to. Whoa. Whoa. All right, not bad at all.
Wow. All right, so that's crazy. No pedaling, 32% incline, and it looks like he got up at 15 miles an hour. Now, a lot of you are going to be thinking, oh, it's only 15 miles an hour, it's slow. It's not. All right, you take any of your e-bikes on that, and maybe with the exception of the Surons and a couple of others that have like, you know, that are kind of made for that. Like the Suron can climb stairs, you know, a Talaria. Those things can, you know, they're made for dirt, they're made for hills. The average e-bike, especially BMX, forget it. No way. You're walking that thing up the hill. So, yeah, needless to say, I want that sprocket on my bike. I don't know how much hill I'm going to deal with here in New York City, but I still want it. I don't care if I lose a couple miles an hour at the top end. That thing is awesome. Let's see what the rest he has here.
I'm happy with that performance. I've got the bike geared for a 32 mile per hour top speed with that 17-tooth cog. So on a single gear, still having the kind of torque that can climb a 32% incline for that distance, throttle only, I think is impressive, especially when you consider that the bike is just shy of 36 pounds all in, including the battery. All right, that's about all the testing I'm gonna do for today, but this is a really scenic neighborhood, so I'm gonna race around here for a little bit.
All right, nice. I love his videos. They're so awesome. They're informative. Gets me excited for the bike. All right, so yeah, Baxter Street looks like a nightmare. And he was calling that hill the e-bike killer. So I call that video the hill killer versus the e-bike killer, because that thing dominated that hill. Awesome. Nice work. Okay, so how does that all happen? How does that torque generate from the high drive system? And I think the best way to explain that is to go through a series of videos that Austin put up in the last month or so. And it highlights all the different components of the high drive system, from the pulleys to the sprockets, the assembly, everything. And so I think I'll just take you through each of those short videos, and that way you can see what's happening. So first one, this is these are the transmissions. Let's go.
Our heavy-duty planetary gearboxes with all steel gears are in. We take these and we put a drilled-out aluminum GT3 pulley on one side and 4130 heat-treated steel gun-blued sprockets on the other. Inside each of these is a sprag clutch mechanism that is silent and instant engagement. Altogether, this transmission system is what allows our e-bikes to pedal like bicycles and throttle like motorcycles.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's the transmission. Here's how it's assembled. If some of you guys are, you know, mechanic nerds, or you just like to nerd out on this kind of stuff, this one is going to be a fun video. For me, it's fascinating to see how it all comes together, especially since I've been watching this. Austin developed this company since the beginning, which is kind of cool to see it all coming together now. So let's watch this one, the assembly of the transmission. Okay, so in this next one, you'll see how the transmission connects to the motor with the belt. And what that's doing is transferring torque from one ratio to another in order to fire up the wheel. Okay, here it goes. So that's it, real simple. And from what I understand, these belts are all kind of off the shelf, easily attainable parts. You're not going to be ordering special crap that, you know, only is sourceable through the Chimera website and things like that. I think a lot of these parts are easily accessible through other places. So now let's go to this one. This next video, a lot of times you hear Austin talking about how you can pedal it like a bicycle and then you can throttle it like a BMX. So there's a few videos where he's demonstrating that. And this first one, he's got it up on a rack on the wall, and you can really see the power of this thing, because as soon as he hits that throttle, the whole bike moves. It's crazy. Watch this. Yeah, that's awesome. I could watch that all day. All right, so this next one, now this is him on the street, and he's got the camera down low so you can see the pedaling. This one's short, just 15 seconds, showing how he pedals. And you can see he's got some nice new crank arms there. I'll talk to you about those in a minute. And the chain ring too, I forgot about that. He's playing around with the new chain ring too. So that one was cool, you just see him pedaling. And now in this one you see, same length, 14, 15 seconds, you'll see him pedaling from the other side, and you'll see the motor engage when he hits the throttle up the top. This one's cool. I love that sound. Awesome. Gives me goosebumps. But yeah, so he's got a cover that goes over the transmission and the belt, so that you'll protect it when you're riding, but he has that removed here so you can actually see it engage and see how instant it is. In those videos, you really get a sense of how this bike is going to operate, and how versatile it's going to be when you're riding, you know, just pedaling around. You might not want to throttle, and then when you need it, get around traffic, get up a hill, it's right there. So next, there's some new items. You heard me talk about it quickly a moment ago, the cranks. So I got a few pictures here and a video. Austin had been developing these cranks for a while, and here's a little schematic video. I'll play that for you now first so you can see kind of like how it went from concept to reality. So let me play this. So nice looking concept. It looks similar to some of the ones that they were originally thinking of putting on the Founders Edition that were titanium. Ultimately, he decided against those. There was some chatter in the marketplace about how they were just not as good as you would expect for the price that they were. And so Austin took it upon himself to just make his own. And the ones that he made are really beautiful, and these are still being tested. I think they might have a little bit of a tweak from these pictures that I have now. So they might look a little bit different, but mostly it's just aesthetic. So, and fitting wise, and how it looks going from the little ribs that he calls fillets on the side down to, the various connecting parts, the bolt areas. So let me show you these pictures. They're really nice. Again, all titanium. He's designed them so that they are lightweight but still strong, and importantly, aesthetically pleasing as well. So that's that. Also new, he's got a slip bolt, which is cool. So this thing here, and you can see it's right on his website too, for sale, $15. The slip bolt is kind of like the top cap or the compression cap, and the cool thing about it is the brake cables go right down through the top cap, and every cable on this bike is hidden, and sleekly hidden at that. And you can see that in some of the videos that I'll show you coming up next, where you see like a first look at the Founders Edition. You can see how all the cables are hidden, and let me play that for you right now. Okay, first look, Founders Edition. Keep your eye on where the cables are. Pretty slick, goes right down, hidden. Very cool. I like that. And so the other items that he has for sale, handlebars, the white liner horns, they are really beautiful. There's a couple of, like, I got a video of it here. Let me show you this one. His little commercial, like a 25-second commercial for these white liner handlebar horns. Check them out. $18 ounces, man, that's crazy. So 28.5 inches wide. That's pretty sweet. That's at least an inch more narrow than my Zeus handlebars, and I think he's designed these handlebars to accommodate the longer grips, and I like the shorter grips. So I think what I'm going to do when I get these handlebars is actually take another inch off of each side. So I'll be at I guess 26.5 inches, and I'll be able to fit my regular size grips on there, and it'll be super narrow. Awesome, real white liner. Let's see what else. Products, new items in the shop. Oh, the bikes are available again. For a while they were not. They are available again, and you can see both the Founders Edition and the Standard Edition right there. Yeah. 5450 and 4500. If you want one of these and you're looking for a little discount, hit me up. I got a code, and all I got to do is tell Austin we're friends, and he'll okay it. So let me know. And also, as you can see, the motorized frame is in there as well, and that's $3,300, and that's a really good deal. That whole thing is 10 pounds. It's crazy to think about, that the entire frame and the motor is only 10 pounds all in. And again, the reason why you can't buy the motor separately and throw it on your bike is because the frame is designed specifically custom for this high drive system. And so you could buy the frame too, but why would you buy a frame to throw some other motor on it? This is built specifically for this motor, and that's why you can't just, you know, get the frame or get the motor and then tinker around with it on your own. It's really not a bad deal, because a lot of these titanium frames are, you know, around the 2,000 mark anyway. So this is really a good deal. Here's a little video of the motorized frame. You can see it all together.
This is our motorized electric BMX frame. It's all titanium, made for 24-inch wheels, has internal cable guides for your hydraulic disc brakes, and a bottom bracket that'll fit almost any cranks on the market, MTB or BMX, as long as you've got a wider spindle. These frames come equipped with our high drive system that has a high power, super responsive in-runner motor, silent instant engagement clutches, and a belt setup that is very easy to work on or even modify. These bikes run at 3,800 watts, but the entire motorized frame weighs just a little over 10 pounds. We meticulously build these up right here in Los Angeles, California, and on the bottom of each one, we engrave the first edition serial number.
Cool, yeah, 10 pounds, that's wild. And you can see on that, he pointed out all the little areas where the cables were hidden and how those run through the bike, so really seamlessly. That's pretty cool. And then in this video, you can see it partially assembled with handlebars and some of the other stuff that comes on the bike, like the brakes and things like that. Here's that.
Just put a fresh pair of our white liner titanium handlebars on this new build, as well as our titanium disc forks. Ran all the internal cabling for our Magura disc brakes, which comes standard on all of our bikes. And of course, our 22 millimeter 48 spline titanium spindle, which we have hollowed out to give just the right balance between weight savings and rigidity.
Pretty slick. I really like it. I'm really excited for this bike. I can't wait. I'm hoping it's just a couple more months away. I know these things get pushed back all the time, but as you can see, the progress report is updated a little bit, I think. Let's see. Let me scroll down here and we see where we're at. It looks like frame set, motor, components, battery, mobile app. I know a lot of these are close to the end. Total progress 53%. Okay, so not too much change, but I know there's a lot in the works. So definitely keep an eye out. This is going to be coming together quickly in these last few months, and I'm really excited to get on this thing. I can't wait, and I hope that Austin comes out to New York and messes around with it. We can make a video, we can hit some skate parks, we can just rip up and down the highway. I'm really excited for this. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Tell your friends and tell your fucking grandma.